Yep.
Okay.
So wait, what are we doing here again
The
today?
new metal one, first
know.
of all. You jackass.
Why am I here?
Why am I here? This isn't a porno video. Sorry. The year was 1996, and the sound of grunge rock was now officially dead on a mainstream level when Soundgarden called it a career. Well, for that time being. The style of music was changing in the late 90s. Gone were the angry angst sounds of grit vocals and almost a dirty hardcore punk sound to what was to become a new wave of metal. In 1994, a band by the name of Korn had released their debut album and was being played on the radio station with such hits as Blind and Chutes and Ladders. And even though those songs were being played regularly enough, fans were still clinging on to Nirvana and Kurt Cobain with the passing of his untimely death. Lane Staley from Alice in Chains was dealing with his own battles. Stone Temple Pilots had changed their sound. Bush became a rock band. Pearl Jam was on the verge of becoming a political rock group with talk about ticket prices for concerts, among other things. The year 1996 also saw the end of a rap group by the name of House of Pain that seen mainstream popularity when Everlast told everyone to jump around in 1992. But come 1996, people were not jumping anymore, and they were ready for a change. The rap sound that we had known in the early 90s with the samples and scratches were becoming a thing of the past. Everlast wanted to do solo country rock rap style of music and did so in 1998 with the release of Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. But what was to happen with the other band members in House of Pain? In 1997, the former DJ of House of Pain, DJ Lethal, found a new home by the name of a band, Limp Bizkit. Their first album, $3 Bill Y'all, was almost an underground sensation. The song Sour made mainstream radio, but not on the levels they would hit come with their second album in 1999. In 1998, Korn released their third album, Follow the Leader, and Jonathan Davis had a guest on this album for the song All in the Family and Limp Bizkit's Fred Durst. The two lead singers would sing, or dare I say rap, back and forth in a battle of wits with who can diss the other the best in this battle of insults. The year 1999, Fred and Limp Bizkit told us all that we are definitely all going to do it all for the Nookie, as Nookie became a national treasure of what the late 90s was for sound. Fast, hard, catchy, mosh-worthy, head-nodding ability, trance music that can just make your mind get lost in with taking away any upsetting or bothersome thoughts you may have. For Korn and Limp Bizkit set the way for what was to become the early 2000s for metal music. Linkin Park, P.O.D., Crazy Town, Static X, Dope, Papa Roach, Deftones, Slipknot, Sevendust, and even Evanescence all became staples in what this new metal type of music was that was on our radio stations. For what was this style of new metal called? Well, it's quite simple. Nu metal. That's right, but not new, spelled N-E-W, but nu metal as in how fitting of a name for that sound too. It really was nu metal, and I do mean that with the spelling of N-E-W. It was the perfect sound to match the mainstream sounds of punk rock music that was playing on our radio stations. It represented the era of 2000 to 2010 to a T. However, as time has gone on, bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit get looked down on and almost forgotten now. For if Limp Bizkit, who had never put DJ Lethal in their group and gave it a rap rock sound to the extreme, the 2000 bands like Linkin Park may have never made it to mainstream level that they did. Maybe the lyrics they had in their songs didn't age well like other bands and their lyrics, but I feel Korn gave us a way to release our angst and sadness, and Limp Bizkit gave us a way to have fun, and as Fred would say, mellow out. Today, we now take a look at Korn, Limp Bizkit, and other new metal bands that have given us so many memories of great songs and enjoyable music. In 1999, Korn and Limp Bizkit and others like them weren't considered anything but just alternative music. But thanks to their influence, other bands were formed, and that sound became what we know today as nu metal. This is New Apartment Radio Podcast, and today we look at the legacy of the style of music that is nu metal. My name is Bill, and I'm joined once again with Jackson, and we have a special guest today, a nu metal fan from the very beginning. Roger is here, and we've did a shout out to Roger before in the past. Roger, thanks for being a part of this.
Well, I certainly am special. Yeah, not a problem.
Excellent. Jackson, you told me the term new metal many, many months ago, and I was like, what? Because even at my age, I had no. To me, it was always alternative rock. Yeah. You said it was new metal. I went looking into it. I saw all the bands that are considered new metal. What is the difference that these bands are doing compared to, say, the metalcore scene? Like, how isn't it all the same? Like, that's just my opinion as a guy who casually listens to this music.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you're not in the metal sphere, you don't really understand or even care about the differences between the genres. Like, I only got into knowing the difference between traditional heavy metal, new metal, metalcore, deathcore, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Once I got into metal, between the reason new metal stands out compared to a lot of bands is just because it has a different vibe than most of them.
Okay.
A lot of the other bands have roots from like your old Metallica, your Iron Maiden, your more traditional, faster and more melodic singing, whereas new metal was something completely new. There wasn't really any basis in the previous metal genres. It was just they took metal as a whole, extreme, like hard music, and they put hip hop into it.
Okay.
There's not many. I don't know if there are any bands that have really rap in it, but it's mostly the turntable and the bouncy beats and that kind of stuff that made it new metal.
Head PE.
The what's that?
Head PE.
Yeah.
They're a new metal band that their singer is a rapper.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's interesting stuff.
Roger, would you say that new metal kind of music was very edgy, extreme, just like in your face for that time? Like,
yeah, it was something definitely different than, you know, like you were saying, everything else, like the Soundgarden and the Pearl Jam at the time. It was definitely different, and it wasn't the, you know, the hard rock stuff that was on the tail end of the 80s into the 90s.
Yeah.
It was new. It's just what it was. It didn't sound like metal. It didn't sound like the grunge. It didn't sound like the pop. It was different tunings, different signal chains for the sounds that they were getting. It was just new.
Was Korn actually the first, or was there other bands who were kind of underground who were doing it for years and just never got noticed?
As far as I know, you know, I'm just a Korn fanatic. Well, I was just a Korn fanatic. Yeah. So like, you know, me coming up, it's all you heard of was Korn, and I don't really recall any other.
Yeah.
At the time, I don't really recall any other bands that were kind of doing it until like the Limp Bizkit came around.
Yeah.
And then after that, you had like your Edema and all them guys, Power Man 5000.
Oh, right. Yeah. So what was White Zombie?
They were White Zombie.
They were Zombie, yeah.
They were, you know, they were definitely an alternative to
more
metal.
Like shock rock or shock metal.
Yeah.
Is 9 Inch Nails under that category?
Probably, but they only really have like one rock/metal album.
Yeah, their first album was the best, Pretty Hate Machine.
Yeah,
after that, they changed their sound.
They had a lot of like electro beats and dance stuff.
There. So he started with like it seemed like he wanted to do the new metal rock thing, and then, well, as a one-man show, you can't really play drums and bass.
That was really before the renaissance of like Korn and Limp Bizkit.
That's what I mean. That Pretty Hate Machine was almost the forthcoming of what was going to be coming. That was released in '89, I think.
Yeah,
it was late '80s.
What's the second one?
Oh, Downward Spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was like early '90s, so before that.
94, maybe 93. I think.
So that might have been an even influence on those kind of bands.
9 Inch Nails wasn't even really ever on my radar.
Yeah. Not a fan?
It's not that I'm not a fan. It just, any of the stuff that I really heard, aside from like Hurt, and they had, you know, a couple radio stuff, but that was more my sister's generation. I was,
That's true. Your sister's probably my age. Is she's older?
She's older. She's 6 years older than me.
Probably, yeah. So probably my age then.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
You're older or something.
Yeah. So that's probably why, because that's what I listened to, right? Like Korn for me. And when it came out, like when I heard Korn and Limp Bizkit in '99, big time on the radio, I was 18 years old. So I was already getting ready to leave high school and such, where you were probably just getting into leaving public school, going into high school,
Yeah,
right?
actually, the first concert I saw, it was in grade 8, and it was Korn, Videodrome, and Rob Zombie.
Oh, this was during the Hellbilly Deluxe?
No, it was like it was the year before they started doing Korn started doing Family Values. So it was essentially kind of like the precursor to what.
97, maybe 97, 98.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was I was grade 8, so it was.
Family Value Tours came out and like they made it big in '99 because remember the CD came out and it had Stained on it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Limp Bizkit, Korn, and I know there's another band that I can't remember now, but it was that era of maybe Dead Sea was Dead
Orgy.
Orgy, yeah, Orgy was on that one.
Yep.
Dead Sea was on the later ones with Static X and Linkin Park and them when they still did them in like 2001. You missed out on that era, Jackson.
Yeah.
Those Family Value Tours were very cool. They were like I don't even know how to almost like a metal version of what's that thing they do every year for the punk ones? Warped Tour.
Tour,
yeah.
And
It's almost
that's another thing I missed out on. Like I would have loved to see him like early, like maybe 2000 to 2010 Warped Tour, because there was a lot of early metalcore bands on
and
there.
not
like
been
there.
And Ice Nine Kills.
In 2000, I think it was, that was like their biggest one. They had every punk band from that era, except for NoFX wasn't on it, I don't think, because Me First and the Gimme Gimmes was on it, and NoFX members are in that band, so they went that route. But it's crazy when you look back at the bands who were on those tours and what we missed out on if we just didn't get to see it. Because at the time you think, oh, I'll go next year. You don't realize that music, just like everything else, changes so quick.
Yeah, and nowadays the only times you can see a lot of these bands, and like for example, there's one festival in I think it's California, somewhere in the States, called Sick New World, where it's a lot of those new metal bands. I know Deftones is there, System of a Down is always there, Limp Bizkit I think is there every now and then, Disturbed. It's a lot of these old school new metal bands. I think there's a few metalcore in there, but yeah, we can't, like, that's pretty much all they do. They'll do a few festivals a year. They won't tour. Like System of a Down does basically nothing besides festivals.
Why not, if you can make your money doing that?
Yeah. And that's where everyone goes as well. So.
That's true. When you have 100,000 fans, like, especially over in Europe, if you go over there to those festivals,
metal is crazy over there.
Yeah,
that's where metal kind of exists in Europe.
Yeah,
even though new metal is an American
deal, but it kind of all stems from the Slavic regions. And
Norway, Belgium,
Sepultura,
Sweden.
Boys, yeah.
You know what's funny when I'm thinking about what you said earlier on about Jackson? You said about like rap and rock together. One of the first real memories, I think you might remember this, Roger, back in the day, was when Aerosmith and Run DMC got together and did Walk This Way.
Oh God,
remember that?
Yeah,
that was like the first time they put rap and rock together. And then an album, a movie came out called Judgment Night many years ago, and the whole album is based on rap and rock together, like Onyx and was it? I think, is it the Public Enemy, or maybe I forget, the two of these, or no, Onyx and Biohazard. Does that sound right? I forget now, but I remember like all these bands, rap and metal, were together collaborating to do, like Pearl Jam does it with Cypress Hill together. They do a song together.
There was so much of that stuff.
Helmet and House of Pain did it together. They did a song.
Biohazard.
It is Biohazard. Yeah, like that was like I think early '90s, and that was like, wow. Again, that's like setting the pace of like, this is where we're going. Grunge rock is here, but
nobody wanted
it. And no one wanted grunge rock either. Let's be honest.
But we're glad it was here now.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, it's kind of funny to think like new metal has stayed as long as it has.
It's stayed, but I don't think it's the same as it has been since like 2010. Even.
Well, I read something today that said new metal died in 2003, and I do not fucking believe that.
No,
because there's been so many bands out.
I think the reason they say that is because that's when Slipknot released their mainstream, and I think at the same time Korn and Limp Bizkit were more mainstream. Like that was the point.
They were, but
it started to turn into just general heavy
metal. What? Okay, I hate that. If you're an artist in music, do you go into it saying, I don't want to be mainstream. I don't want to make that money. I don't want that. That's such a bullshit. And fans are like, oh, they went mainstream. Who gives a shit? It's so stupid, though. It's like I saw like bands like the Melvins and stuff say, we're never going to sell it. We're going to keep grunge alive underground. It's like, well, that's cool. Do that and make no money.
I can respect you if you want to make the same type of music and not sell out, but you still have to want to grow as a band. You want to evolve. You want to change. Like you don't want to stay the same stale thing forever.
No, it doesn't
you gotta
work.
change.
For example, my girlfriend, who's actually in the room, just not mic'd up, people. She told me we're listening to Pennywise the one night, and she goes, "Is this album almost over? Every song sounds the same." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." But to me, they don't sound the same because I love Pennywise. To me, it's
for Iron Maiden it's the same. If I listen to Iron Maiden, I'm like, oh, I can see clearly where they've evolved throughout the years. But if you listen to them, you're like, these are the same fucking songs.
Yeah, and I think that's like that for every band. Like Green Day, for example, is one of the worst bands.
There's some bands that are clear changes. Like Slipknot's a good example because their early stuff versus their new stuff is drastically different.
I blame Stone Sour for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a fan of Stone Sour over Slipknot.
Why am I here?
Because I'm here.
So I like Stone Sour because I like it. To me, it has that perfect rock radio sound.
No, I was just messing with you. No. When Stone Sour first came out, it was a nice change of tone for Corey Taylor.
Yeah.
To really go from all, he was a one-trick pony in Slipknot, and then Stone Sour changed that, and then how he can go back to Stone Sour and sing and scream,
and then it helps Slipknot because I can sing in this now.
Yeah, Volume 3 was the point of like, hey, we can make heavy songs and soft songs on the same record. You have like 3-0, Blister Exists, even before I forget, Vermilion, and then you have Vermilion Part 2, Duality. Some of the more, I think Circle is one of the more lighter tracks. Like you can go have both of those stark differences and it still sound great.
I think that helps a band in the long run anyhow. It gives them longevity because they can do so much.
Well, it's just the diversity. Just have all these different tools in the bag. Right?
Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of bands are missing at times too now. They feel like, oh, we play this style, we have to keep playing this style. And it's like, you don't have to. Like, don't get me wrong, some bands do change their style and fans hate it. I've seen it firsthand. But sometimes they change it. Yeah,
Korn did, their first couple albums were it was.
Remember that band you told me about that sounded like Korn?
Chaosium. Yeah. I was actually going to bring them up because when you were talking about how people were saying, "Oh, new metal died in 2010." No, you can go on Spotify right now and there's playlists called new metal.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, there's been in the past, I want to say 2 or 3 years, there's been a huge resurgence in new metal.
Oh yeah,
like there's the one band I think that's kind of started it, even though they aren't. I don't think they're exactly new metal, but they kind of started it as Vended. The Sons of Slipknot.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Corey Taylor's son, Clown's son, and I think one other.
Oh, is it? I thought it was just Clown's boy that was in there.
No, Corey Taylor, Griffin Taylor's the vocalist.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
And then I think there might be another one, but there's just a group from Iowa, and they don't sound super like Slipknot, but you can tell the influence is there.
Yeah.
You can tell they were in the rehearsal room in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't think
and then since that, there's been like 4 or 5, like Poppies in there and a few other.
I was gonna say I don't think you can sound exactly like Slipknot. They have a style of their own that's not going to be replaced. Even bands that want to be like them are not going to be like.
Tell.
Yeah.
It does help that Griffin Taylor sounds like his dad.
See, I've never
like Corey Taylor.
I've never even listened to Vended.
So you might not know this. I told this to Jackson. He didn't believe me. Corey Taylor almost killed himself when he was like a teenager.
I did hear about that.
And do you know what band saved him?
What?
He was watching MTV Music Awards and he saw Faith No More.
Okay.
And he saw Epic, the song, that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that saved him.
Really?
He said, I want to be like that. And he got out of his funk.
You did that and then some.
Yeah. It was Faith No More that kept him alive.
That makes sense to me.
Now there's a band too. When you look back, they were kind of like rappy rock, like.
Well, which is fitting that when Korn's drummer left, the Faith No More guy came in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
There was, I think there was a whole tour.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe there was even an album. I don't know, but I do know that he did fill in.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
When he was like, "Yep, I got to go," all the guys were like, "There's only one guy that we could get to do this for right now, and it's
the guy for Faith No More."
Yeah, don't even know his name.
Yeah,
don't even know his name, but he did good.
Well, it's like
Ray Luzier. Does that sound right?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
2008, would that be around?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's been with them since.
Oh, he stayed.
That's what it shows. I don't know if that's right, but that's what's on the.
Oh no, it's no, he's been
touring
there.
Musicians might be in here. Drums, not Joey Jordison. Michael Joachim.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd have to look at Faith No More and see who their drummer is too. Then remember, with replacing, we figured out. Well, you did actually, and you told me that we think the lead singer of Static X now is the guy from Dope.
I think it's been confirmed.
It's been confirmed.
It has been confirmed,
but it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even a huge Dope fan, but when I heard it, I was like, that's the dude from Dope.
Yeah.
And then I saw some things of people saying, oh, we think it's this guy, and I was like, listen to a Dope song. I was like, okay, it can't not be.
Yeah.
He's doing almost exactly the same shit in Dope as he's doing
in Static.
as Wayne Static,
Yeah.
right?
Is he actually playing Wayne Static? I know he's dressed like him, but is that supposed to be his name too in it, or how?
No, they got I think they call him X or something.
Oh, okay.
It's just they just got a nickname for him. I think I can't remember what it is. I think it's X or just something random.
Right.
But yeah, he's straight dressed like him.
What do you think about your feelings on when you replace a singer in a band? Should the band just call it quits, or should they continue?
In the situation of Static X, I think they did the right thing.
Okay.
And then the situation of, say, like 3 Days Grace.
Yeah.
Although after their original singer left, they were still doing good stuff, and it was still 3 Days Grace.
It was my darkest 3 Days Grace.
Yeah, it still sounds like them, but yeah, it sounds.
But
like
it was different. It was different. It would have just been like when Buddy that peeled off from 3 Days Grace went into, what's that band?
Saint Asonia.
Saint Asonia. Yeah. Like if he took 3 Days Grace, the name with him, that wouldn't have been 3 Days Grace.
He's actually he still sings 3 Days Grace songs with them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, he wrote them. Like, why not?
And I've seen recently he's done a surprise
with 3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace.
I don't think he has any bad.
Do you know the guitarist from Stained is actually in that band, Saint Asonia?
Yeah.
And so is the guitarist from I think it's called Art of Dying. That was his cousin's band.
Oh, because that's a metal band, right?
I don't know.
No, Art of Dying is
You might be thinking As I Lay Dying.
Yeah, Art of Dying is
Art of Dying.
No, Art of Dying is an alternative rock band. They're Canadian. Pretty sure that was the name of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I do have a song by them on my playlist. I can't remember what it's called.
I've probably heard it from me.
I definitely heard it from you.
Yeah.
I do not remember.
Art of Dying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look it up right now since I too have a computer near me.
I wasn't given the memo, so I don't have a computer.
Should have told you to bring one along.
Yeah, Art of Dying's big song would have been To Get Through This, probably. Yeah,
that's the one I have.
So yeah, Art of Dying. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, one of the members. Cale Gontier, Adam's cousin.
Oh,
Cale,
okay.
Yeah, so it's Adam's cousin joined the band too, I believe, and then he had someone else. But yeah, they Saint Asonia actually tour. They're going to be in Sarnia soon for that whatever that thing is.
Borderfest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good bands going
I
to
know.
That one. I forget who all it was. It was my dad sent me a link to it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid.
That wouldn't be too bad to go in just a day trip. Like,
yeah, I know. And maybe a nuclear explosion will happen that day.
Don't tease me.
Don't tease me.
Don't tease me.
Yeah, that's the way to go in Sarnia.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, with replacing the singer, it's very iffy because to me the singer's the heart and soul of the band. You can replace a guitarist and a drummer.
That's where I differ.
Well, I know what you're gonna say, Wes Borland, right?
No. It's a band is an amalgamation of its parts, right?
Fair enough. But look at for example, Metallica. Cliff Burton dies, and then Newsted came in, and I feel like if not the same level, I thought he made it Metallica a little more popular. People love Newsted, you know, and that's what I'm.
The question at hand is just a very sticky one.
Yeah.
You know,
it depends on the band, really.
It depends on the band. It depends on like if it's a band comprised of like a drummer and a guitar player that are writing a majority of the songs,
like
or
Metallica.
or if it's the singer and a drummer, or a singer and a guitar player that's writing the songs.
It definitely
those people are the band.
Okay,
right?
I get what you're saying then. Yeah.
Kind of obstructed view, I suppose.
Yeah,
but I guess for me, like for example, with 3 Days Grace, Adam did it all, or Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl did it all, right? So
so if he left Foo Fighters and they got a new singer, that's not Foo Fighters.
No, it's not at all.
That's what Foo Fighters was.
Yeah,
even with Taylor Hawkins passing, it's still it's not the same.
Have they done anything new?
They've released an album since then. I've listened to 2 of the songs.
Yeah,
they sound like Foo Fighters, but it's just not.
Who's the drummer? I forget the band. I think they took it from another band. I forget though.
I have a feeling in a few years Taylor Hawkins' son's gonna join them.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see when
that was such a good performance
when they had that little bastard?
Yeah.
That was. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Why are you not doing it now?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he's like 14 at the
I
time
think
or
he's still
something.
in school. Yeah.
I'd say I mean, why don't know why they just don't get the drummer from Nirvana to do it, but whatever. He was really good. What's he doing now?
Yeah.
We've never seen him
No.
and Dave Grohl in the same room.
No,
I
you
wonder
never
if,
do. But new metal also certain bands have the two singers.
quite a few.
Yeah,
Mushroom Head comes to mind.
They
I
have
was gonna say
3,
Mushroom Head
right?
was the one.
Is that the one that has 3? Mushroom Head? Was it yours? So who'd you say had 3 singers? You told me there was a metal band. Oh, that was Mushroom Head.
No, that's Halloween.
How? That's what
That's
I'm thinking
not
of.
new metal.
Okay.
They're power metal.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know. Does Mudvayne have multiple singers, or
Nope.
is it just the one?
That's just the one dude.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
So
Yeah,
who was
Slipknot.
the first to have 2? Is it Linkin Park for mainstream to have the rap and
I would say
singing?
Mushroom Head because they're older than Linkin Park.
Yeah, but-
Mushroom Head supersedes even Slipknot.
Yeah, but you don't hear.
I think they're around Korn or even before.
When do you
Yeah.
ever really hear
Yeah.
Mushroom Head on radio?
Oh,
You know
never.
what I mean?
Never.
That's what I
No,
mean.
Never.
they're
They were.
Yeah.
Underground.
Yeah, they were very niche.
They're more
Yeah.
popular now because everyone's like comparing them to Slipknot because like all the masks Slipknot stole the idea from Mushroom Head or whatnot.
No, they were when Mushroom Head first got like notoriety, people were talking trash on them. Oh, it took the mask idea
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Slipknot.
yeah.
They're like they were
They
didn't
around.
even know what they were doing
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we started
There was
doing
some
this.
lawsuit between them, wasn't it? Between Mushroom Head and Slipknot.
I don't know if it was a lawsuit or if it was
There was
more
a
of like
threat,
a
yeah.
like a media beef to get everyone's name out there. But yeah, there was some
There was
stuff.
some beef.
There
yeah.
was some stuff that was going
Yeah,
on
the
because
first
of
Mushroom Head
masks.
was 95, so yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
like they're almost before Korn at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Korn
Korn was
started-
94, but they weren't really.
They started 93. And
Yeah.
they started
Mushroom Head also started 93.
Yeah, so it's and then Slipknot started. When did they start?
97, I think.
Yeah, so
Right.
there's not even a debate.
And Slipknot didn't have Corey Taylor until like 99 when they released their first album because it was some other dude when they did
Yeah, I
Hate,
actually
Kill,
saw,
Feed, Repeat or whatever.
yeah, they did it twice. They did it with the original singer.
Yeah.
And then they did it with Corey, and then they had to do it again
Oh wow.
because there's 2 different album covers.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
For which one? The
first
debut?
one.
Or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they didn't have Corey there or something, and they had to take a picture without him.
Yeah.
So they had to redo it like.
So there's like a
few years
red
later,
one
yeah.
and a black one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is their debut called? Like not Slipknot, but the. I guess what would you call it? Their first EP or whatnot?
Like EP or LP or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, something like that.
That as far as I know, that's their firstest one.
Yeah, because I know Slipknot was like their actual first album. Yeah, Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. That is their first produced piece of music. Yeah, when did Slipknot start? Now that I've got this up, 95.
So all that shit started
Yeah.
within this like
4
2
years.
Right when
Yeah.
Kurt killed himself. Let's be honest. Kurt kills himself, and all of a sudden,
That's the catalyst for new metal.
well, it might be because grunge kind of died when he
Yeah.
died.
And people wanted to get away from grunge. I think people were pissed off at grunge. So like,
Yeah.
let's go polar opposite direction. Let's include hip hop into this, and let's just go angry.
And hip hop, like I said, by 95 too was changing. Like I said,
Yeah.
the scratch, the turntables and scratch samples and shit, that was
Mhm.
all dying out.
Yeah.
It was all just here's a beat and just rap to it. It's like, oh, great,
Yeah.
you know. So new metal band said, we'll take those turntables and then some. And
yeah, with some dirty down-tuned guitars on
Yeah,
them.
yeah. You remember the Executioners, which was Wayne Static, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, and Mr. Hahn, and they sang "It's Going Down."
No,
You don't remember that song?
No,
Yeah. It's
should
going
I?
down.
That sounds like
Yeah.
something I should.
Yeah, it was a big song in like 2000 and
I think you
Two?
showed me one of these. Songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another song, another band, a Canadian band that had this style of music too. Dead Celebrity Status. Do you remember Dead Celebrity Status?
I do. I played a show with him in Chatham before.
There, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
2004.
Yeah, that would have been
something.
their
Wow.
peak. Yeah.
When they were doing that jump, 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 breathe. That was their big song
Yeah.
that they were touring with.
They used to be called a different band before that, but
I can't remember, but
I'll
yeah.
look that up too now 'cause it's gonna bug me. Yeah, they were they played that style of music, and I don't know whatever happened to them. I guess that they must have faded out before they even
I think they were a lot more on like the rap side of it than they were
Agreed.
the metal side of it.
Yeah.
Like they were doing a lot more like
Project Wise. That's what they were called.
Yes.
Project Wise. Yeah.
Now, there's something interesting about just the comparing rap and rock, because they're very similar. Well, not maybe not rap, but hip hop. They're very similar genres. Like they're both very aggressive. They're both very anti-politics, anti-government, whatever. They're both very rebellious in nature. So the fusion between them just, I feel like it just made sense.
It did make sense because it was kind of two ingredients of the of the same dish, just put it together, and
it was just that era was such a weird era for collaborating everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if a band got popular, another band's popular, we got to work together.
Yeah.
It's just any way somehow, and it got to the point. I remember even back in the day, it got to the point where like country and rap were going together, and
that's more popular, like in like 2010.
Yeah, because they kind of like kicked into there, and it's like here we go.
And that was country metal.
Yeah. Basically, it's just pop country. It's you go.
Is that what Jelly Roll is?
What's a Jelly Roll? Let's be honest. I almost got chewed out by a customer at work one day because I said something shitty about Jelly Roll, and they're like, "He's turned his life around." I'm like,
I mean, he seems like a cool dude, but like, I don't like his music at all.
He's country Post Malone.
He is. He really.
He looks like a rapper.
Yeah,
but
he's all the
country.
tats.
He is,
yeah, he's country.
I don't think
Doug
I've ever
likes
heard.
him.
Oh, Doug loves him.
Yeah, I remember you guys telling me that. I was like, okay.
Love me some Jelly Roll.
He did a song.
Leave your wife out of this, bud.
I think he did a song with Post Malone at some point.
Oh, that would make sense. I swear they're like two peas from the same pod with how they look.
They do look very similar.
Well, yeah, someone scribbled on their faces.
One looks like one ate the other one, but yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
that's why he's Jelly Roll.
It's not Carrot Roll for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, the Jelly Roll fans Jelly Roll will be listening to this podcast. He's like, I'm going to listen to an amateur podcast today.
Oh, and then I just shitting on him. You that Roger fella? No, sir. Never heard of him. Sounds like he owes me money, though.
When it comes to the new metal thing back then, too, we can't overlook one band. And honest, I like them, but let's be honest, they were a pop version of new metal, and that was Crazy Town. Butterfly
was ripped off
from a Chili Peppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just
yeah.
It wasn't even a song of a Chili Pepper. It was like the
riff,
a bit of a bass line from a special song.
Yeah, that song. That's it. It's off Mother's Milk. That album.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's off the Mother's Milk album.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty. I listen to that shit. But nowadays, I'm like, I can't believe I listen to that shit.
You know what, though?
It's good. I don't care.
I have all 3 CDs they released, and I think their music is still really. Their second album went away from that like Chili Pepper kind of metal. That's why I call it Chili Pepper metal. That's all it was. They actually went to like actual like new metal, like they were actually doing like harder stuff.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should.
Drowning's an awesome song by Crazy Town. They even have River from Weezer playing guitar in one of their songs too for a song they did.
Oh, really?
Like the polar opposite of metal, but you're cool.
Hey, you know what, Weezer though? If you listen to a lot of Weezer songs, there's metal.
They're so good, man.
Yeah,
they're so good.
Yeah,
I don't even want to say it, but they're so.
They
good.
are. They have metal influence in their shit.
Yeah, well, with Van Weezer, that's like where you see most.
Oh yeah, they do. Like Weezer is a band who can you give them say play this, they can do it.
That was the one band that's like, how the hell did nerds get that popular? Because they are the nerdiest band out there.
Oh, just their image. That was just their image.
Yeah, they're probably real bastards behind closed doors.
Probably. But their lyrics, like Buddy Holly, is such a dumb song.
Yeah, but it's a good song.
Yeah,
it's like really, and that whole album was catchy. That was 1994, man. That was when grunge was dying and new metal wasn't there yet. That was that in between. Like, here's Weezer for 1994. Here's Weezer, ladies and gentlemen.
Between grunge and new metal.
Yeah, it's Weezer. It's true. And then they continued going, and they're a band that is a lot like Bad Religion and punk music too, because Weezer will be like, well, here's a mainstream album, here's our hit, right? Then the next album they do, this is just for us.
Yeah.
You know, this is if Weezer fans will know about it, but the casual fan won't know about it.
Yeah.
And Bad Religion's the same way. They're like, well, we have our Epitaph record, so here's our punk album. oh, we got signed to this record label. Well, here's our mainstream for the radio.
Yeah.
So and they still do that to this day. And Weezer's the same way, because if you look at Weezer's discography,
it's just the colored albums that
Yeah.
are popular. Everything else is not.
yeah, and they do it. They do they release them within months. Like let's say the Teal album will come out in January, and then April is their album that only Weezer fans know.
Yeah.
It's not, it's almost like
That was even
underground.
more extrapolated. Was it last year? The year before they did one
Every
album
season.
for every season.
Yeah,
They did 7 songs for every season.
yeah.
That's bullshit. I haven't wrote a song in 12 years, and they're doing. Fuck you guys.
So, with that being said, when you played, were you a new metal band?
I guess you could pretty much call it that, because all we were listening to was Korn,
Yeah.
Meshuggah, Mudvayne, Deftones, just all of that shit. That's all we knew.
Yeah.
Well, I was only listening to Korn and Limp Bizkit at the
Yeah.
time. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the other boys, they had a little bit more
Variety.
broader variety
Yeah.
of influences, as to where I just wanted to go chung chung ooh wee, right?
But it's fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun sound.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's a great sound.
Great sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we were new metal, maybe a little bit of metalcore, because we had a lot of like singing influences too.
Yeah.
We weren't just. It wasn't just angry yelling the whole time.
Right.
So it was new metal core. Oh, look at me making another genre.
Yeah.
That's
New
why.
metalcore.
Yeah, that's why I've just never really been into the genres. It's like, okay, that's
Same here.
That's
Yeah.
metal. That's not metal,
I know.
and that's jazz.
And I feel that's
There you go.
I feel that's more Jackson's era. That
Yeah,
younger
it's definitely
era.
newer people, like probably after like 2010s that started really making genres.
It's just
and kind of-
confusing.
Oh,
I
God,
think.
I
metal
remem-
genres are stupid confusing.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was in this band, there was like, and the internet was still in its infancy.
Yeah.
And there was like these band boards popping up, and like a member of my band would go on like, yeah, my band's new metal or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was, people were getting in heated arguments about genres
Yep.
23 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I
It's only gotten
remember
worse.
yeah, well, yeah.
I remember in 2003 I had a next door neighbor named Mark, and he loved music, and we were talking about music, and we're talking about alternative music, and he's like, "Oh, alternative music's like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and that." I said, "No, alternative music is Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park, because they're using turntables with their music. That's an alternative." He's like, "No." He's like, "That's not it." And I forget what he said that was rap rock. That's what was the term then. Rap rock.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's alternative, because you're putting two different things together. That is an alternative to what is the norm.
Yeah.
And he would argue with me till he was blue in the face. And this is 2003. I was 22 at the time, and he was like, I think he was 17. So he was my next door neighbor. So we would always have these battles back and forth. And nowadays, to hear that there's 75,000 different terms for metal music
I could list
now.
off some things. Like, there's people out there who get picky and be like, "Oh, our band is blackened deathcore grind," and it's like, what the fuck?
Dude, any verb with
Yeah.
metal
Yeah.
is a genre.
Yes. Like, there's your main genres, and then there's about 1,700 subgenres
Yeah.
in that.
Imagine if that was like that for punk rock. Oh no, this is our death punk. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
No, just made it up because you
Yeah.
asked me.
This
Yeah.
is punk core.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There's so many people that want to label in their bands, or to label the bands they like. It
Oh, it's
doesn't
just-
make sense. Like, I get it if you want to like make it easier to describe a sound,
Yeah.
but when you get that specific, it's pointless.
Oh,
And
you
it-
get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And the sounds always change anyhow. You listen to one Linkin Park album and listen to their newest one, it ain't gonna sound like Hybrid
Nothing
Theory.
alike.
No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nothing alike.
Like if you listen from Hybrid Theory till the newest one, you don't even notice the change because it's a gradual change on
Yeah.
each album. But if you go from the first
Hybrid
to
to-
last,
yeah.
you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is completely different.
Speaking of, you hear them motherfuckers getting a new singer?
Oh, who's gonna do
Oh wait,
Chester's?
they're doing it?
That's what I heard.
I didn't think they would because maybe
Because
they
how do you
haven't-
replace Chester?
Yeah, you can't. But
You get a lady, apparently.
really,
Don't know who it is, but rumors are out there that it's a female singer.
so maybe they're just like not gonna. I wonder if they're just gonna do some new stuff and not do the old stuff.
They'll still do the old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You probably. But
You know what?
I
Having
wonder
a
if it's
girl-
because of the new compilation they just did. They released Paper Cuts, which is like compilation of old stuff and then a new song or whatnot. They're probably getting back into
that's the greatest hits.
Yeah.
Having a chick do the old stuff would make more sense because you're never going to replace Chester. But
no,
if you
if you change it,
if you have a chick doing it, it's a different style of sound and it's okay.
And it'll still sound good.
Yeah.
Although there are people out there that sound just like Chester, they totally could have brought on.
But at that point, why?
Yeah, there's no point.
It's kind of a disservice to who he was and what 100%. He did, right? Like, you
know, he could be replaced. Here you go.
And it's like, sure, tonally he could be replaced, but it's not the same.
No.
People will know.
Bands do. I mean, Scott Weiland got replaced when he died, of course, right, for STP, and Chester was actually touring with STP when Scott was in rehab. Chester was singing Scott's stuff. And but now it's like you hear the new singer. Yeah, he kind of sounds like Scott, but it's not STP.
No.
And that goes back to what I was saying.
That's probably one of those things. Maybe you should change it to not Stone Temple Pilots.
Exactly.
But maybe Stone Temple Pilots.
There's another band there. I think it was Alice in Chains.
They replaced their singer.
Do they have? I forget what the album's called.
Black versus Blue.
Black and the New Blue.
Whatever.
Yeah. Apparently it's still good, but yeah, it's a completely
it's great.
Different sound.
It's a great album, and a lot of the songs on there are good. But they got a singer actually, and it's Lane. Was drugged out, of course, and died by then when they did that. Jerry still did the backups, but they got a new singer. And ironically, I mean, it's just like Seven Dust was a black dude. A black dude was the singer of Alice in Chains, and he could do Lane's voice. Awesome.
Really?
Yeah. He could sound like Lane Staley. I don't know his name, unfortunately, because I never really looked to. I just heard he was a black guy and he's singing in the band, and everyone's like, "Can you this is crazy? This is so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, it's how do you replace Lane Staley?
I guess with a black guy."
Yeah, white guys have tried to sound like him, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Closest is the band the Merkins. Remember Yeah, I'm pretty sure, from what I was told, it was a black dude took this as the lead, and that's freaking
Jerry Cantrell.
No, that's the guitarist.
William Duval. Yeah,
Maybe.
William Duval, I think is his name.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm guessing it's not Mike Inez or Sean Kinney.
Sean Kinney is the drummer.
Yeah, so I think it's William Duval.
I think Sean Kinney's the drummer. Is he the? Yeah, he's the drummer. I don't think he's the bass player. Yeah. Yeah, probably so.
That's kind of opposite of what Killswitch, because they had.
Yeah, they had their singer, and just as they were going to shoot off, he's like, "Guys, I got to split. I can't do this." And then they got, oh my God, what's his name? Howard Johnson.
Oh yeah,
fucking amazing. He's a beast.
Great singer.
And now they got their original singer back.
Yeah, Jesse Leach.
And it's like he never left.
Wow.
And, so good. And Howard Johnson, he released their best albums. That would be Kind of a Heartbreak.
Yeah. All of them.
I forget what the other one's called.
Rose of Sharon. You're talking albums, not song names, but yeah.
What is the album?
There's a band I'm not too familiar
with. As
with.
Daylight Dies.
Killswitch.
Oh, dude, they're so good.
I know one song because CM Punk used it for his theme music.
They are a bit heavy. Like even like Matt at work, he was playing them the one day, and he's like, "I can't listen to this for too long. It's just all screaming on the albums." I'm like, it can get that way, but their hits are so
God,
good.
Don't even get me started on that guy. Last night I had a conversation.
What one?
Big Matt.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
I hate Stone Temple Pilots. I don't like the Offspring. I hate Pearl Jam. I hate Jackson's rap music. He plays his Eminem. Every song sounds the same. And it's like
hilarious.
Well, what do you like, Matt? I like the underground stuff no one ever heard of.
Yeah, he's an elitist.
Coheed and Cambria or whatever it's called.
Not that great. I saw them with.
Yeah, that's it.
I saw them live with Avenged Sevenfold. They're
okay.
They were a good show, but they're not.
Avenged is. I'd rather watch Avenged.
And he was like, I like them more than Rush. I'm like, they're not the same. They have a similar voice, kinda.
It's like saying I like pizza more than apples. Well, of course you do.
What's an apple pizza?
Gross.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
You know what though? Actually, it might not be that bad. Just make a pizza, throw some
apple slices.
Yeah.
If it didn't have marinara sauce, maybe.
Yeah, it'd have to have like
you can just make a pizza pie.
Like a sweet, I guess.
Apples.
Yeah,
like barbecue sauce. Boom.
No, not that kind of sweet. Like maybe like some sort of peanut butter. Peanut butter.
Oh, brother.
Ugh.
We're making it after this.
Fuck no.
Seven Dust. Were you a fan?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
They were. Now that you said that, there's a lot of time. I spent a lot of time listening to them.
Yeah.
That's one band I really want to start listening to.
Oh, you should. You're missing out.
They're pretty good.
They are good.
And I think they're still going. I think they still make new stuff.
Yeah.
Or they have recently.
Did you like Drowning Pool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
who
did.
Would you like the original singer better, or?
I'll be honest with you. That's the only Drowning Pool stuff I listened to.
Yeah.
Yep. So by the time he passed, I was already kind of out of that whole era.
Yeah.
But that's the only stuff I listened to. I think it was one record.
Yeah.
Their first record.
Let the Bodies Hit the
With
floor.
that one,
Yeah.
Tearing Away, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good too. They were right up my alley.
Yeah.
Don't know if they were new metal. Don't know if they were metalcore. They were
kind of a fusion between the two. Yeah,
they were like a soft new metalcore.
Yeah, even Linkin Park, I feel that way. Like they definitely have the rap and the hip hop, but at times their songs sound like metalcore songs with how the clean singing is.
It lacks the heavy at some points.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Union Underground, or did you know of them?
That does sound familiar, but
they what was their big one? Turn Me On, Mr. Dead Man. Yeah, it was their big tune.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
No.
Not that cool.
No. That was 2000, right? Like
was
right,
it?
Yeah, right at the year 2000. But that's what I heard of them when I heard of Last Resort by Papa Roach. Same time period.
Okay, yeah. So
no wonder you heard of them. They were on Raw.
That wasn't until 2002. I heard of them way before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. They were
open for Marilyn Manson.
Oh, that's just a topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah.
I don't like Manson.
I used to.
I like his covers. That's about it.
No.
I used to when he was, Smells Like Children. What's that one? The one before that. Oh no, that was Smells Like Children, and then the one where he's got tits on the record album.
Beautiful People or whatever.
I think that was Smells Like Children.
Oh, was it?
But his earlier stuff, I was into it because my parents didn't like it, and I was like, well, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad. I'm gonna wear a Marilyn Manson t-shirt.
His music now, like Melissa had two of his newer vinyls, and she didn't even listen to it. The music's not. It's not the same.
Because I couldn't get the vinyls for the other ones, but then I'm like, I don't need this. I never listen to it.
Yeah,
they're weird.
Yeah.
But then also, wasn't it a few years ago he would kind of did the P Diddy thing? Where
I don't know if he got
supposedly.
He's like half the size of Lizzo.
Yeah, I don't think he got canceled though.
He's like half the size of Lizzo.
What's Lizzo?
He's fucking. What's Lizzo? Fair enough.
Marilyn Manson is half the size of Lizzo?
Yeah, this is Lizzo. Fucking like 400 pound, I don't know. And then Marilyn,
Lizzo is a very sexy, proud woman. You have to respect her curves.
Never even heard of it.
She sang, I don't know, Big Booty or something.
I don't know.
Big Booty.
Really popular nowadays. I want to see if I can find.
She's a rapper? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, she is a whole happy meal and a half, isn't she?
She's a beaut.
Yep, she's a.
That's what I'm talking about.
She's a gorgeous lady. Lizzo or Lizo or Lesbo.
Yeah,
or
say this is. I think this was 2017, so I think he's even more. But yeah, he's just like compared to one his old albums where he looked anorexic. Now
he was
massive.
Now.
Oh, okay, so he's better now. Yeah, a few years ago though, he looked like he was
like 2023.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
See all the memes that's going around about him, like, Marilyn Manson looks like if Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, cosplaying as Nicolas Cage or whatever. Yeah,
no, he just looks like Nicolas Cage.
Is that what it was? Oh yeah. Well, it's okay. It's not a bad look. Nicolas Cage is a handsome man.
Yeah, okay.
Face Off. He was in that movie. He was handsome when he had Travolta's face.
Yeah, well, anyone's handsome if they can get John Travolta.
Yeah, I know that one.
Okay, name another one.
He's in Dead by Daylight, the game.
That's not a movie. You cheated.
No. Who, Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
He was in The Family Man.
All of the Kick-Ass movies.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in that one movie with Pedro Pascal. No idea what it
was. He was in the superhero movie with the flaming skull head.
I just said that. Ghost
Rider.
Oh, I missed that. You saying that.
Yeah. A lot of people missed the Ghost Rider.
Fair enough. Yeah. It was a terrible adaptation. I mean, it was a cool movie, but it's not a good adaptation.
He only wanted to be that because he was a huge comic fan for that.
Yeah.
100%. He was in Fast Times at Richmond High.
Was he?
He was an extra in the back making burgers at the fast food place. Yeah, that's his first big. Wow, people know him from there.
That one a few last year, the vampire one. I forget what it was.
The Vampire's Apprentice or whatever. It's pretty stupid. I liked it.
It looked funny.
It's not bad.
He was in his own reality show called Rage in the Cage.
Yeah.
I don't know, just making that up now.
I think if I'm not mistaken, his son is in a black metal band or something.
I am surprised that anyone slept with him.
Who, the son or Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
That's a good. That's a, yep. I think it's him. It might be somebody else, but there's somebody. Maybe not.
Yeah, doesn't that look like the Marilyn Manson pictures we were just looking at?
Yeah, it does. 100%. Yeah, it is. His son is in, I think, I don't know if it's black metal, but
Is his son Marilyn Manson? That would make more sense now. That's why he looks so much like him.
No, I feel like they're like the same age.
Yeah, probably close to it.
Close to.
Remember the rumor back in the day that Marilyn Manson was the boy from Mr. Belvedere?
I did. I was going to bring that up, but I thought that might be a little bit too out there.
Oh, and on the Wonder Years too, the nerdy guy on the Wonder Years. They said it was him too. Do you remember?
I do remember the Mr. Belvedere thing.
Yeah, the Mr. Belvedere. I do remember that. Yeah, the Wonder Years thing too. You're right.
And then there was the whole rib debacle
where he got it taken out to suck his own dick.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to spend that much.
Matt King did.
Attaboy.
That's what he does with his Walmart money.
Let's get these, just the bottom four. Just the bottom four.
So he can curl up the ball.
He says it's for black belt, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's for brown something.
Brown sound.
Jesus.
Wow. New metal. What can we say about it now in the year 2024?
It holds up.
It does.
For me, anyway, like a couple months ago or something, I just went on old school new metal kick, and that's all I was listening to while I was sitting on my computer. And like songs came up that you totally forgot about.
Mm-hmm. But you can sing along still, right?
Yeah.
All these years later.
Well, there's what was the Edema song? I think I can't remember. There's one of these Edema songs that came on that was on the radio. I listened to it so many friggin' times, and just listening to it, I heard things that I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
And it was the original song. There was nothing new, nothing different.
No.
But it was just like, next song comes on, it's like, wow, I forgot these guys were a thing. Right?
Yeah. That's cool.
I've had that recently too. I went back and listened to, I think it was some pop stuff I was listening to, and I didn't realize how much, like, once I started getting into metal, you appreciate the instrumentals more.
Yep.
So going back and pop, I'm like, wow, there's guitars in these songs, and there's other shit in these songs. I'm like, what the fuck?
That you never noticed before.
No, because you were just like, as a kid, at least I was just focused on the lyrics and the vibes.
Lyrics and like the
dance.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Jackson, I'm gonna just single you out for this brief moment. What are you more open now to wanting to go back and maybe checking out the Limp Bizkit catalog and being like, well,
brother,
I want to listen to more of that one album.
Results may vary.
Yeah, because
that's
not even one of their good ones.
I know.
I liked what was on it. I still don't like it. Listen, you showed me Sour, and I still, I'm it's okay.
Counterfeit's better than Sour. Sour's good. Counterfeit.
Yeah, Counterfeit's good
Faith.
too. Yeah.
Well,
you know what, Faith?
It's a cover.
It's a cover, but I like the. You know, he did that with Everlast from House of Pain too. He came on and rapped in between.
Did he?
At the what we were just talking about, Family Values.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think they did it at Woodstock '99 too. Now there's one Woodstock '99.
That was a debacle that
Yes.
my sister was a part of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was there
Really?
when they were riding around the flaming pieces of wood and shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go. My mom wouldn't let me.
Well,
I was
no.
like 14.
Yeah, you would have been.
Because you'd be fucking dead.
Yeah. That was a crazy time. But so yes, Jackson. Like, what about maybe perhaps putting on? Listen now. Listen to me now.
Listen, boy. The elders are speaking.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck off.
I think there needs to be a day where you come over, and Raj, you can join us for this too.
Oh, well, thanks.
And we go through. That's right. We go through Limp Bizkit from the beginning. Oh, and they're still putting out music.
They are still, yeah.
They're still doing shit. We can sit, and you can, just because we'll be three of us hanging out, you can listen to it then and then you could be a judge because you have to listen to it.
Yeah,
because we're going through
that's
the.
fair. I can't judge it without listening to it all. I still don't like his voice. His voice is awful.
Oh no, that's not the point of it.
No, the instruments are great. His voice pisses me off.
Yeah, that's the point. It's
fun.
That's
fun.
That's the point. That's literally the point. They're what is it? The anti metal guy.
Well,
right?
yeah, but like the issue is he can do a good singing voice. And so, what is the one song? Hold On.
Hold On with Scott Weiland.
Yeah, but wasn't he was singing in that too? Wasn't
Yeah, he was. They both do it. Yeah.
Yep. And the other
Behind
what's
Blue
the other
Eyes.
one?
No, it's Off Results May Vary.
The other song.
See, I did not listen to that album at all.
No.
I like my Limp Bizkit knowledge is squarely like $3 Bill,
Significant Other,
and hot dog
flavored water.
and
Yeah,
chocolate starfish.
Was it Build a Bridge?
Come on,
Build a Bridge. He said.
Yeah, that was like the slower song, right? Yeah, he sounds so much good as like a slower, lower register voice. His high stuff pisses me off.
Yeah, Results May Vary. He was more of rock than rap.
Yeah.
Is that the song, the album with was it Eat You Alive?
Yep.
On it, right.
Yeah,
That's the only.
Give Me the Mic is awesome, dude. You got to check that album out. So you have to be here for that. That is such a good album. After that, I don't really know much of their stuff.
One.
Yeah, All Radio Was Dead. Yeah, that's a cool tune. All right, so since we're winding down this new metal topic here, Roger, what is your favorite new metal band of all time? If you had to just pick one,
dude, that's like it's unfortunately got to be Korn.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I don't blame you.
Who's your least favorite? Do you have one you're just like, I don't know.
Of new metal?
Yeah. Like, even from back in that era, if you're just like, eh.
I mean, I wasn't the hugest fan of, like, Power Man 5000.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of rolling off the tail end.
Yeah, barely new metal.
I mean, Disturbed. I know I'm going to...
They were new metal for one album. They were not new metal.
Like, I liked them. They're good. But I didn't like them like some of my friends liked them.
Yeah.
Or Godsmack.
Oh, Godsmack! Really?
Not really, but they're still around that.
They were that era. You know, Godsmack's actually an Alice in Chains.
I like their newest album, pretty much. The White album that you have.
Oh yeah, that's a killer album. Yeah, Godsmack was named after Alice in Chains.
Is it?
Their song, their song's Godsmack. They loved Alice in Chains.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if I had to say around that whole era, there was very few that I didn't like.
So it'd probably go Korn, Limp Bizkit, eh? That's the 1A.
That's got to be that's got to be my dream team right there. Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
I think so. It's a cop out answer, but it's the honest truth, you know.
That's good. What about you, Jackson? What are you going with?
I don't know. I haven't listened enough Korn to really say they're my favorite.
Well, no, what's your favorite new metal band then? Just what?
It's tied between Linkin Park or Slipknot. I don't want to say Slipknot because they're no longer, like, I like their newer stuff more and they're no longer new metal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Linkin Park though, just because those first two albums,
right?
Even the first three albums are just so good.
I agree. And which band did you? Is it Limp Bizkit the band right now? You're like,
Sure. Like that's the only one I have to say that just because that's the only one I really heard. Like I haven't heard any Mushroomhead, I haven't heard any Power Man 5000, I haven't heard any of these other.
You can skip Mushroomhead. They're worth not listening to. They're okay, but you're definitely not missing anything.
They're the prototype of what was to become.
Yeah, in my opinion, you're not missing out on anything special.
Except for their name, Mushroomhead. It's a very cool name.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit's the only band that I've listened to that I know I at least dislike the hits.
Okay. For me, my favorite would probably be Linkin Park with Hybrid Theory. That album, and then Limp Bizkit with Chocolate Starfish. That was the album that I like. Significant Other was good, but when Chocolate Starfish came out, I was like, that's a
stupid name still.
You know what it means? Chocolate Starfish and hot dog flavored water?
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's a sexual thing.
Probably.
Why? Are you starting to understand Limp Bizkit yet?
Chocolate Starfish is the butthole. Hot dog flavored water.
Okay.
Well, let's just go back to the name of the band here for a second.
Limp Bizkit.
Do you even know what Limp Bizkit is?
No.
That's a frat game. You're in college. You'll learn about it.
I will not.
Let's just say
I drive to school. I don't talk to anyone.
If anyone brings a loaf of bread out, just walk away.
Oh, you played it with bread? I played it with a cracker.
Oh. Fair enough.
The fuck?
You really don't?
I don't know what this is.
Should we tell them or Google it? What do you want us to do?
I'm not Googling it. You tell me to Google it. I'm not. I refuse to.
I don't know if we should say what it is on this podcast.
When we're off air, you'll tell.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure.
It's just a fun game.
It is a fun game.
It's a fun game.
You get to know yourself real well with it.
Even when you lose, you still win.
Just okay. I forget now. Was the goal to?
The goal was not to be last.
Yeah, that's right. That's because then you
want to eat the cracker.
Oh, I'll just say it. Jackson, it's either a cracker or a piece of bread. A group of guys jerk off onto the item. The last person to ejaculate has to eat the
the delicious treat.
Yeah, a Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's very gross.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Wait,
Limp Bizkit. They
how-
were called that, and
yeah.
they do the things they do for it.
How did you get hired at our job? 'Cause we all had. That's how we got.
Yeah.
That was the initiation.
Yeah.
I must have missed that part.
But yeah, for me, it's definitely Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit, and sentimental just because Crazy Town. I loved Crazy Town. I gotta put them. Least favorite, I'm gonna go Slipknot because I tried to get into them and I never could. Never could.
Yeah, Slipknot's good, but they're very mid tier for me. I like them, but they're they were
They're
never
heavy.
they were
Their
never
first two are like their best, and everything else.
yeah, they were never exactly what I was looking for.
I feel
but they
for
were
me,
always good enough.
I feel Slipknot tried too hard to be different, and it made me like, well, you're not
That's
that
what I feel.
different.
With, that's what I feel with their second album. They tried too hard to be heavy. That it's good, but there's some songs that are just heavy for the sake of being heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, it's really good. But
I for me, and I think you might agree because you said I need a nice riff, a nice thing to bob my head to.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there chilling out like this. I need to feel it.
The
I don't,
groove.
yeah, if I don't feel it, I'm not gonna
that's
like
what
it.
I feel with newer Slipknot is that kind of I get that a lot is where it's
They're getting more of a groove. To
yeah,
them.
and the clean singing vocal like chorus is very nice because I can actually sing along to it without knowing what the fuck he's trying to say.
Nice. Well, I guess we might as well just bring this one down now. We've discussed everything we can think of when it comes to new metal. And with that being said, I'm going to have to say one thing about new metal. I think that it was probably the greatest style of music to come out in the 90s because it influenced so many bands to do so many different things as the 2000s kicked in. When you think back, if it would have stayed grunge in 90s, that's it.
We'd all be wearing friggin' whatever.
We would have had that same grungy sound.
Yeah.
That just like you might as well be raining out 24/7. You're sitting inside, bummed and depressed. You can't think of a new metal song that you feel bummed and depressed about because the sounds and the riffs and everything are just they make you want to. And to coin a phrase, jump around. They do. They make you want to get up and move. You get energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy is key, I think, in new metal.
Said, makes you want to break shit.
Yes, exactly.
Break
yeah.
Shit.
And Limp Bizkit with Break Stuff, man, that was the song. That was like an anthem to Rogers and my generation. I think a lot of us in that era. And with that being said, if it wasn't for bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit, I can definitely say we wouldn't have found so many other bands over the years to enjoy. And I really do think they deserve their flowers. People can shit on them saying, oh, their lyrics were horrible and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If it wasn't for them, things wouldn't be the way they are today in music. Yeah, so I think they deserve all the flowers they get when it comes to what they've done. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until we do our next one, I am Bill, joined with Jackson and our special guest today, Roger. This is another edition of New Apartment Radio Podcast. Peace!